The birth of Indian National Congress. Before the establishment of Indian National Congress in 1885, there were quite a few associations which had been set to promote the interests of Indians. Some of these associations were British Indian Association, Madras Native Association, Bombay Presidency Association, Pune Sarvajanik Sabha, etc. However, these associations were limited both in membership and programs and targets. Their membership was limited to upper-class educated Indians. They were also localized. A need was felt for an all-India organization which would ideally involve the masses and would be more assertive in putting forward the demands of the people of India. Keeping this in mind, S.N. Banerjee started the All India National Conference at Calcutta in 1883. A second national conference was held in 1885. Same year, that is, in 1885, A.O. Hume, a retired British civil servant, along with some important Indian leaders, set up a political party, Indian National Congress. The first meeting was held in Calcutta under W.C. Banerjee. 72 delegates from all over the country attended the Congress. Since the All India National Conference and Indian National Congress upheld the same aim, it was decided to amalgamate the two into one single body, absorbing the conference into the Congress. The British felt that there should be an organization through which the Indians would be able to air their grievances. Under British supervision, this would act like a safety valve. This would enable the British to know the demands of the Indian people and thus act accordingly. With this, they would be able to avoid a repeat of the revolt of 1857. The moderate phase, 1885 to 1905. In the early stages, the main aim of Congress was to promote friendly relations between nationalist political workers from different parts of the country. During this period, the Congress was led by a group of people called moderates. The moderates did not want independence from British rule. Their main objective was to secure more representation for the Indians in the government. Prominent leaders of this time were Gopal Krishna Gokhale, Dada Bhai Nauroji, Firoz Shah Mehta, S.N. Banerjee, M.G. Ranade, etc. The main demands of the Congress at this time were to secure more representation in administration, cutting down on expenditure in military matters and on administration, to try and stop the drain of wealth from India, taxes in general and land revenue in particular to be cut down, to bring about changes in economic policies so as to free the farmers from the clutches of moneylenders, to increase the number of members in legislative councils and to give them more powers, to hold civil services examinations in India so that Indians had a better chance of clearing them. The methods used by the moderates to get their aims achieved were the press, persuasion, petition and prayers, etc. They did not wish to antagonize the British government, believing that, in due course of time, the British would see the justness of Indian demands and Indians would have the same rights as enjoyed by the British. By the beginning of 20th century, the new group called Radicals or Militant Nationalists emerged. They agitated for greater political consciousness by resorting to a radical way of political agitation and were even prepared to make all sacrifices for their country. At times, these radical leaders used extremist methods and encouraged the people to become bold, brave and patriotic. They demanded Swaraj or freedom from British rule. The important leaders of militant nationalist group were Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Lala Lajpat Rai and Bipin Chandra Pal. They felt that Britishers would not listen to the appeals of the Indians. The Indians would have to boldly fight for their rights. Tilak declared, "Swaraj is my birthright and I shall have it." Thus, Congress became a bigger platform for voicing the grievances of the people. Fact: the Indian National Congress was formed by a Britisher named A.O. Hume in 1885. Partition of Bengal. Many of the policies of Viceroy Curzon went against the interest of Indians and angered the extremists. Bengal was an important center of nationalist movement and was at that time a very large presidency comprising Bihar and parts of Assam and Odisha. Curzon partitioned Bengal in 1905 on the pretext of administrative convenience. However, instead of separating the non-Bengali areas of Bihar and Odisha from the province, a proposal was made to separate only eastern part of Bengal from the province. The reason behind the proposal was to weaken the nationalist movement which was very strong in Bengal. This attempt to destroy the unity of Bengalis sparked off an anti-partition movement. The movement was marked by fasts, processions, and the singing of Vande Mataram. Protesters tied Rakhi to demonstrate brotherhood. The anti-partition movement spread to some other parts of India. Under the Governor-Generalship of Lord Curzon, Partition of Bengal came in effect on 16th October 1905. Protest movements were launched by both moderates and radicals, but eventually the radicals were able to gather greater support and momentum, which saw their emergence as leaders in this phase of nationalist movement. Reasons for the emergence of radicals. Moderates did not achieve anything substantial, and it disillusioned people who were now looking for rapid political action. The trio of Lala Lajpat Rai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, and Bipin Chandrapal emphasized on the strength of the people being a major weapon and instilled a sense of patriotism among the people. There was increasing frustration among the educated Indians regarding the British policies and the protest measures taken by the moderates against them. Indian National Congress came to be dominated by radicals after the partition of Bengal. The partition, instead of breaking up the momentum of the nationalist movement, ironically accelerated it. People from various strata of life came together to fight against the partition of Bengal. Swadeshi and boycott movement. The partition also angered the moderate leadership of Congress. The leaders now launched the Swadeshi and boycott movement. Swadeshi means of one's own country, and it encouraged Indian industries. The Indians now began to use Indian products. The people began to boycott British products. Heaps of foreign goods were burnt in public places. Shops selling foreign goods were picketed. The new radical leadership of Congress played a major role in the Swadeshi movement. The middle-class urbanites, including women, actively participated in it, and radicals emerged powerful after this movement. Surat split. Presiding over the Congress session of 1906, Dadabhai Naoroji accepted Swaraj as the goal of Congress. The moderates had serious differences with the radicals. Unlike the radicals, they did not accept Swadeshi and boycott as regular methods of agitation, nor did they want these methods to be applied outside Bengal. The moderates and radicals parted ways at the Surat session of Congress. The British used this display of disunity to their advantage. They followed a two-pronged policy of appeasing the moderates by giving them concessions and deterring the radicals through repressive measures.